All right. Hello, everybody, and welcome. Today is Friday, October 1st, 2021, and this is your PTE News Break. I'm your host, PTE, also known as Permission to Exist, and welcome to the News Break. No, this channel will not be an all News Break channel. We will get back to content here very shortly because as of, roughly 4:16, 4:17 p.m., I am free. I'm a free woman. I'm free, y'all. I'm free, but we'll get into that conversation a different day, different discussion. Let's do a quick word from our sponsor and then we'll get started. To expand your book collection but not sure where to start? With everything going on this past year, why not get away in the prophetic love story of Jazzman, written by V. Prophetess Hazlitt? Based on the lovely setting of Rhinebeck, New York, Jazzman is a love story that proves lasting love still exists. Pick up your paperback or Kindle copy today, link in the description box below. Awesome. Shout out to that channel sponsor. Thank you so much for being an ongoing channel sponsor. She bought the big package, so thank you so much for doing so. All right, you guys, let's get started in this week's news break. So for those of you who may be wondering where I've been, I have been very, very active on my other channel. So an absence over here is a present somewhere else. To be absent with PTE is to be present with a deeper PTE. Yes? So I've been very active over there. There's hours and hours of content for you to consume, but it's content that you'll only like if, you're of the same mindset regarding a very specific topic. But other than that, that's where I've been. So I'm over there. So go check it out. A Deeper PTE. Okay. So let's jump in. Thank you guys who are saying congratulations in the chat. Whew, honey, I feel like I ran away, honey. I feel like I packed a bag and left like when he went to work, honey. And like I'm on the lam. That's how I feel. Like I feel like an escapee. But anyway, let's get in. Speaking of escapees, let's get into the news break. So this week, R. Kelly was found guilty of racketeering and sex trafficking. Okay, this particular story was published on September 27th. It says after more than 25 years of accusations in a federal court trial in New York that lasted 7 weeks, R&B singer R. Kelly has been found guilty of charges, including sexual exploitation of a minor, bribery, racketeering, and sex trafficking involving 5 victims. Kelly faces a possible sentence of 10 years to life in prison. Kelly sat absolutely still as the foreperson gave the jury's verdict to Judge Ann Donnelly. 14 alleged underlying acts were associated with the racketeering charge. The jury found that the government had proved 12 of those acts, which involved 5 victims, the singer Aaliyah, as well as women named Stephanie, Geronda Pace, Jane, and Faith. 2 acts associated with an alleged victim named Sonia were not proved. Most alleged victims went by their first names or pseudonyms. The government needed proof of only 2 of the racketeering acts for a guilty charge. Federal prosecutors in the Eastern District of New York successfully proved to a jury of 7 men and 5 women that Kelly had been the head of a criminal enterprise whose purpose was to lure girls, boys, and women to the R&B singer for his sexual gratification. On top of awaiting sentencing in this New York case, Kelly will face a second federal trial on charges of minor inappropriate material and obstruction of justice in Illinois. Some of those accusations are related to a 2008 minor inappropriate material trial in Chicago in which he was acquitted of all charges. Additionally, Kelly faces outstanding criminal charges in both Cook County, Illinois, where he was indicted by the state attorney in February 2019 for aggravated criminal sexual abuse involving 4 victims, 3 of them minors, and in Minnesota, where Kelly was charged in August 2019 with engaging in prostitution with a minor. Sentencing in New York is scheduled for May 4th. So he's not going to be sentenced till next year. So it feels like this has been going on for the longest time. And it looks like, I guess, justice is going to be served finally, regarding this particular issue, and it looks like even with this guilty verdict, he still has other trials to face. So it doesn't look like R. Kelly is going to be rejoining society here anymore. He might get out, but they might let him out probably around age 70 or 80. Um, it's very strange. I know a lot of people have very mixed feelings about it, even though it involves minors and people who really truly cannot give consent. You know, people feel a certain way because R. Kelly was one of their favorite musical artists. So that is the unusual dilemma we are often faced with in the Black community, I feel, is some of our favorite artists sometimes aren't very good people. It's just the truth. It's not always the truth, but a lot of times some of our favorite celebrities are just not good people in their private lives, and that's a tough pill for a lot of people to swallow, and they can't separate the celebrity from the citizen, I guess you could say. So, but like I always say, I think it's so unfortunate that when people are finally given an opportunity like this, they blow it and choose to throw away their legacy by being degenerate. So, you know what I mean? All the money you could hope for, all the fame, all the influence, and an actual gift of music. And it's like degeneracy is the most important thing. Degeneracy takes precedence over all other things, over money, over fame, over success, over having a gift or a talent. Being degenerate and honoring that degeneracy takes precedence over all of that. And I think it's unfortunate. So, you know, but he's going to jail for what he did. And if he doesn't go to jail for this one, he'll probably get charges on some of the next ones coming up. So let this be a lesson to all of you young artists out there, up and coming. Why not choose a different path? You don't have to be degenerate. The hallmark of success is not having 14 different women in your house, 14 different women in your bed. Like, that's not the hallmark of success. You know what success really is? Having like an air conditioned, fully finished basement that you don't use as a sex dungeon. You use it as like a storage facility for toilet paper, paper towels, soap, dry goods, batteries, water, rice, body wash, razors, canteens, soil, seeds. That's a higher calling. That's a higher mark to reach for. You know what I mean? If it all goes down, like I've said this before, like messing around with some of you guys will get us killed, get us all killed. You're out here trying to figure out how you can trick people to come back to your sex dungeon when you need to be paying attention to the fact that the federal government is mandating medical products on people. You see what I'm saying? You're worried about wigs and weaves when the federal government low key is like trying to force people to take medical products. Do you see how different the two issues are and how one is more important than the other? So try to focus on a higher calling. Try to focus on a different form of success, true riches and true wealth. Having a harem is not wealth, okay? It's not. And it almost always gets you in trouble. I haven't actually seen it work out well for anybody. Okay? So that's that. So I guess we have to wait till May to see how long of a sentence he's going to get. But R. Kelly got sentenced. Let's move on. So last week, I told you guys that Kelly Price was missing. Well, that same evening, reports were coming that she was not missing, that she was, in fact, basically in hiding, recovering from COVID. Yeah, I can say that on this channel. Recovering from COVID still. So let's read about it. She's been removed from the National Missing Persons Registry. It says after confirming her well-being, Kelly Price has reportedly been removed from the National Missing Persons Registry. Last weekend, Kelly Price was reported missing, and fans of the Heartbreak Hotel As We Lay and friend of mine singer immediately hit social media to spread awareness about the news in an attempt to help locate Kelly Price. Fortunately, Kelly's legal team swiftly confirmed that the Grammy nominated artist was safe and sound, and the reason from her absence on social media was due to her recovering from an intense battle with COVID 19. Despite the statement shared on Price's Instagram, her family was not fully convinced because they hadn't heard from her directly. Thus, to quell any troubling rumors, Kelly Price made a public appearance during an interview with TMZ, during which she confirmed once and for all that she was not missing. Okay, and there's Miss Price. Okay. Kelly Price has since informed her fans that she is going back into solace and silence. And according to TMZ, her legal team has ensured that the acclaimed singer is no longer listed as a missing person with authorities. After performing the mandatory welfare and safety check, Kelly Price has officially been removed from the National Crime Information Center's National Missing Persons Registry. And then if you haven't seen it, watch the emotional interview there. I think TMZ is real heavy on the copyright stuff, so I'm actually not going to play it. Well, here, I'll just mute it so you can just see her talking. A lot of people really weren't satisfied with this video either. Because, you know, the internet has ruined us all. But apparently, you know, she did that interview with TMZ. And I also believe the actual authorities have spoken with her and checked on her. But they were saying that she was saying in this video that she was really upset that it got taken this far. She was saying that her sister, who, you know, was one of the main people saying we haven't actually talked to her. She was like, she was saying, I rarely talk to my sister, so that's not unusual. And she felt like people were just trying to hype it up to get attention and, you know, get clout off of her name, essentially. But, you know, she's been kind of like what I said. I said, I'd like to think that she's just somewhere in a hotel. I thought maybe she was disoriented, but she wasn't disoriented. She was just recovering. Right, Nerds World NYC, right. That's how people kind of felt about this. Like, they didn't like it. They weren't satisfied. Her fans, a lot of her fans simply were not satisfied with this. But I guess what more can she do? She can't stop by our house. She can't stop by the house and tell us she's okay. But if the authorities have checked on her and said that she's okay, I guess that's what we can hope for. She's been removed from the registry, so good to know. But also nice work, internet. As soon as they heard Kelly Price was missing, like within an hour, the internet found her, okay? Within 1 hour, she was found. So nice work, internet. Undefeated yet again, okay? Welcome to everybody in the chat. Welcome, welcome. It's good to have you. Good to see you. We're going to get back on track here very, very, very soon, probably next week. All right. So in some more tragic news, I did not know this young man, but I know a lot of you are on TikTok, so you might have. But TikTok star Gabriel Salazar and 3 others were killed in a fiery crash after a Texas police chase. And he was known as Gabe, not Babe, on TikTok. And the teen had more than 2.2 million followers on the social media platform. Do any of you know him? All right, so that's a picture of him. Let's read a little bit. It says TikTok star Gabriel Salazar, who had more than 2.2 million followers on the social media platform, is dead following a fiery crash in Texas that killed 3 other people. At about 1:20 a.m. Sunday, a Crystal City police officer pulled over the car Salazar, 19, was driving in Zavala County, about 100 miles outside of San Antonio, according to the Zavala County Sheriff's Office. It's not clear why the vehicle was stopped. The officer then reported he was in pursuit of the car, a white Chevy Camaro driving on Highway 83. A deputy joined the pursuit and tried to deploy a tire deflation device that was unsuccessful, according to the sheriff's office. During the chase, the Chevrolet Camaro drove off the road, overcorrected, and traveled across the roadway onto the West Barrow Ditch, according to the Texas Department of Public Safety, which is leading the investigation into the crash. The vehicle struck some trees, rolled several times, and the vehicle caught fire. Photos from the scene show the car engulfed in flames. Salazar, who made his name on TikTok under the handle Gabe Not Babe, and boasted a following of more than 800,000 on Instagram, was pronounced dead at the scene. Jose Luis Jimenez Mora, 41, Jose Molina Lara, 23, and Sergio Espinosa Flores, 36, were also killed. The three passengers were Mexican nationals, according to the Public Safety Department, and Salazar was a San Antonio resident. And in his last Instagram post, he is posing in front of a white Chevy Camaro. So it looks like this actually happened. Did this happen Sunday? Because it said Sunday night up here. It said at about 1:20 a.m. Sunday. I'll have to look back into that again. And you can see here it was published today, though. And from what I was seeing, it looked like it just happened, like today. So I'm not sure why it says Sunday. This could be a case of AI writing an article for us, but that's a different show, different channel. Okay. But it sounds very, very sad. It sounds like he was quite beloved. I'm not sure the circumstances about the police chase, but, rest in peace, young man. How old was he? 19. 19. Always 19. So let's move on to another more tragic story also. So sorry to bring you such tragedy back to back, but 3 dead and 7 were hospitalized in a fatal Amtrak train derailment in Montana. Did y'all hear about this? So this was published on the 26th. This kind of happened at the top of the week. It says the westbound Empire Builder train with 141 passengers and 16 crew members derailed near Joplin. 8 of the train's 10 cars toppled off the tracks. The tragedy occurred at the end of Rail Safety Week. Amtrak joined federal safety officials Sunday to investigate a Montana train derailment that left at least 3 people dead, 7 people hospitalized, and rural communities scrambling to provide food and shelter to the stunned survivors. The westbound Empire Builder train with 141 passengers and 17 crew members derailed Saturday afternoon near Joplin, a town of less than 200 people a few miles from the Canadian border in Liberty County. The tragedy occurred as Amtrak was closing out its nationwide annual Rail Safety Week. The NTSB is launching a GO team to investigate Saturday's derailment of Amtrak's Empire Builder train, adding that the team would be, The 14-member team includes investigators and specialists in railroad signals. He said the derailment involved no other trains or equipment. The train included 10 railroad cars and 2 locomotives. Amtrak CEO Bill Flynn expressed condolences to the victims and said the company is working with the NTSB, Federal Railroad Administration, and local law enforcement, sharing their sense of urgency to determine what happened, okay? So, a train derailment, that's quite familiar to me. This happened to me when I was in middle school, but fortunately in our situation, nobody passed away. So I am sorry to hear of those casualties, but y'all be careful. And it'll be interesting to see what actually caused this, because this is not typical. It's not typical for trains to go off the tracks all the time here in America anyway. I don't think anywhere. So it'll be interesting to see what actually caused that. And especially out in Montana when there's not like a lot of times what causes trains to derail are semi trucks on the track, which is what happened in our case. A semi truck tries to cross, thinks they have enough time to get over, they get stuck, and there you go. But it doesn't look like there's a lot of opportunity for that out here. So I'm not sure what happened, but hopefully we'll get some answers on that. Okay, let's see. Yeah, the cause of the derailment remains unclear. So we don't know, but I guess we will find out soon. Okay. Thank God it happened during the day and not like at night, even though I'm sure for the people who passed away, it doesn't matter, but still, at least it wasn't like nighttime. Okay, so you guys, the United States Postal Service is announcing a slowdown that starts today, October 1st, as if they weren't slow enough. Sorry, sorry. It says what to know about the delivery delays and price hikes. Millions of Americans who rely on the U.S. Postal Service will face longer delivery times for first class mail and packages, as well as higher prices. Anything but an updated post office, though. Sorry. It says sending letters or packages across the country through the U.S. Postal Service often feels like a game of chance. During the first quarter of this year, around 20% of the first class mail was delivered late. That's a lot. And if you rely on the Postal Service to do business or pay bills, as 160 million residences and companies do, you could now be in for a bumpier ride. Starting today, the USPS is implementing new service standards for its first class mail and packages, lengthening delivery time for about 30% of its volume. That means some letters, parcels, and magazine subscriptions traveling longer distances could take up to 5 days to arrive instead of 2 or 3 days. Oh, honey, this has been going on already. They've been doing this. It says that's not all. On top of new price increases implemented in August, the cost to ship a parcel for the holidays temporarily goes up starting Sunday. The changes are part of Postmaster General Louis DeJoy's 10-year Delivering for America plan to overhaul the agency and try to tackle its massive debt. Besides lengthening delivery timetables and raising prices, the plan, which has generated controversy, also reduces post office hours. Man. Every hour, an average of 17.7 million mail pieces are processed and delivered by the Postal Service, a portion of which are packages from online retailers like Amazon. But there's been a massive decline in the volume of first class mail like letters, cards, and bills as Americans rely more and more on electronic payments and communication. And with the rising demand of e commerce, the agency is struggling to match the quick delivery of competitors like UPS, FedEx, and even Amazon itself, which has its own delivery network. What do the service charges mean for you? Costlier or erratic mail delivery could lead to delays in wedding invitations, birthday cards, unemployment checks, mail in ballots, or child tax credit payments. Below, we'll explain the major changes you should know about and who these price hikes and delays could affect most, what to do if you're facing a holdup with a package, and what options you have to send mail. Okay, so we're not going to read through all this, but I wanted to see if maybe they do us a nice little breakdown. It says not all first class mail will be affected by the new service standards. Here's how it breaks down. It says first class mail. The Postal Service says 39% of mail will now be delivered in 3 to 5 days, depending on the distance between the origin and the destination. The rest, 61% of local mail, will be unaffected and will be delivered in 1 to 2 days. First class package service, which is smaller, lightweight parcels, 32% of those will now be delivered in 4 to 5 days, with the longest distances having the longest timetable, such as between California and New York. The remainder will still be delivered in 2 to 3 days. Periodicals and magazines will now be delivered up to 5 days, and the rest, oh, interesting, only 9% of publications will be delivered up to 5 days, and 93% will still be delivered in 2 days or less. So it seems like they prioritize magazines over all other things. They want you to have your magazines. They want you to have your, never mind. They want you to have your magazines. but the letter from grandma can wait. Okay. Right? The chat says they could save a ton of time if they stop sending out unsolicited credit card offers. Right. All the unsolicited mail, all the unsolicited flyers, like that nobody asked for, but they will send them to you. Maybe if they stop with that, that could help. It says what's behind all the delivery delays? Weather, holidays, wrong address, notification slip missing, and a number of other reasons. Who will be most impacted? It says individuals and businesses will face longer delivery times for both outgoing and incoming mail that has to travel by postal truck for farther distances. Mm, man, do you ever just feel like our country is just not doing that great? So I highly recommend, even though it costs more money, y'all, it's not always that much more expensive, but I highly recommend tracking whatever you send, getting a tracking number. I think some of them automatically generate tracking numbers, but if they don't, make sure you just pay for a little tracking number, okay? Because I think it's worth it. But the reason I'm like, wow, okay, an already slow company, I feel the same way, Curious One. An already slow company is about to get slower, is because y'all, like, literally, I've had not so much where I live now, but when I lived kind of deeper in the city, I would order one thing from Amazon, one thing, just one thing. And the one thing that stands out in my mind the most is a spoon I had ordered. It was a bamboo stirring spoon. Okay. Just one, just a spoon. And they told me it was going to be delivered on a Sunday. And it had gotten so bad to the point where if they told me it was going to be delivered on a Sunday, I just knew that my package was going to be lost and it was going to go on a field trip around the city before it finally made its way to me. And sure enough, honey, I would get the notifications. Your package is 3 stops away, 2 stops away, 1 stop away. We could not deliver your package. I'm like, what? And then I had to chase this spoon down, and it finally ended up at the local USPS office. And I had to wait in line for like an hour just to pick up my spoon. That's all. And I was so angry that day. And I kept saying, PTE, relax. These are first world problems. You ordered a spoon and you're upset because you couldn't get your spoon. But to me, that was the whole point. I was like, exactly. I didn't order a refrigerator. I ordered a spoon. Like, you could have put it in the mailbox. Yeah, they make up lies as to why they can't deliver it. Oh, we couldn't get in the gate. Oh, we couldn't leave it in a safe location. Oh, like, you just name it, man. And I know they're working hard, and I know a lot of them are actually under duress because the people they're working for are psychopathic under all these, delivery timetables and things like that. So I feel I have compassion for the delivery people. I think where my compassion runs dry is USPS. Y'all been at this longer than Amazon, longer than UPS, longer than FedEx. Y'all have, let's see. Let's find out. How long has the USPS been in service? The USPS traces its roots to 1775. Okay. So, by comparison, 1775, y'all, I didn't even know that. I swear to you, I didn't. I thought it was like an invention from the 1900s. Like, I knew they used to take like horse and buggy and deliver mail. And I don't know how they got mail across state lines back in the day. I have no idea. Okay. They've been in existence since 1775, you guys. Okay. So the fact that these logistics have not been sorted down to a fine art really bothers me. That's why I'm not really worried. Like, I do get worried when I listen to all the different theorists talk about the different plans that they believe are coming for the country and things like that, I do get very, very concerned, especially with everything that's going on with these mandates and things like that. But then I realize and I understand that I can barely get a spoon delivered to me. So, how is the same country that I can barely get a spoon delivered to my front door going to somehow successfully and efficiently take us to this unwanted state? Now, don't get me wrong, I think it's possible. But I'm like, y'all got a lot of work to do. You're going to have to get more efficient than this. If your plan is world domination, total domination, you're going to have to get more efficient than this. You kind of see my point a little bit? Like in my mind, y'all, and I'm being for real, in my mind, we should be at the point where that same spoon, I can order it at like 9 a.m. and have it by like 3 p.m., if not sooner. Do you see what I mean? I feel like number one, we have enough people, and that brings me to another point. We have enough people to make that happen. We have the logistics, we have the technology, we have absolutely everything possible to create a system where if I order that spoon and say it's out in Virginia, by 3 p.m., that spoon that was in Virginia is at my front door. Now, that brings me to the next point. I think another issue the USPS is having is I think they're struggling with nepotism, not nepotism, but what's the word? I can't think of the word. But basically, I never see young people anywhere near the post office. I never see young delivery people. You guys might. Where you live, you might see young people. When I mean young, I mean like age 21 to 31. I never see them. I never see them behind the counter. I never see them driving the trucks. I never see them putting the mail in the mailboxes. I never see it. So part of your problem, USPS, it seems that you guys just don't want to hire the youth. Hire the youth, give them a good job at a young age. Don't terrorize them with narcissistic bosses and leaders so they'll actually stay with you and build up your workforce that way. Like, how come there aren't like dozens and dozens and hundreds of young people working for the USPS? Right. The chat says the post office is a bureaucratic mess. Exactly. I think that's exactly what I'm trying to get at. Like, it's not a free flowing operation, which is clear. And it's hot in most of y'all's post offices too. I need y'all to turn the air on. We're in the middle of a pandemic, okay? Turn the air on. But anyway, it seems like this is a failing business, man, and they're in their death throes. And it's sad. It's sad to see. But in my opinion, it never really had to actually happen. You've been around since 1775. Okay? You should be the master of logistics. Like, you should be teaching other people about logistics. You've been practicing since 1775. Okay? So let's move on. So y'all just know that, like, if you order things, you'll probably get it a little bit slower. If you mail something to somebody, they probably won't get it as quickly as you're used to. Okay. So there's that. So now it says a new first-class high-rise will house homeless people on LA's Skid Row. And I am so curious how you Californians feel about this. The people-loving person in me really loves this. But, I'm really just starting to second guess everything the Democrats do these days, y'all. Like, I literally now have a serious trust issue with you guys. So everything in the past that I would normally call good, I'll still call it good, but I'm like, what's this about? Like, what's the rub? But if I'm operating out of old PTE, I think this is really great. But I am curious how you Californians feel about this. It says construction kicked off Tuesday on a 19-story homeless housing project designed to reshape a corner of Skid Row in the image of more well-to-do environs. The 278-unit Weingart Tower will replace a parking lot at 555 South Crocker Street Around the corner from the Weingart Center, the project's developer, in collaboration with affordable housing developer Chelsea Investment Corp. The building is expected to open in December 2023. Weingart Tower is the first stage of a project that will eventually comprise 382 units, dwarfing Weingart's existing facility in the 11-story former El Rey Hotel, which is already more than twice as tall as any other building around it. The metal and glass high-rise will improve the neighborhood through architecture. And it says, one of the things we asked the architect is we don't want it to look like a housing project. We want it to look like one of those other first-class downtown apartments. The 160 million first phase will include 228 studio units and 47 one-bedroom units, all coupled to supportive services, including case management, medical and mental health treatment services, client plan development, group meetings, and a meals program. 3 units will be available or will be for managers, okay? And it says the project is receiving $32 million from Proposition HHH, the $1.2 billion bond measure approved by voters in 2016. The Weingart Foundation played a major role in getting HHH passed. Okay, they had a groundbreaking ceremony, and says the mayor suggested the city's efforts to turn around the homeless crisis will soon pay off. Says the next 5 years, you will see a dip in homelessness because of the work we have laid out, Garcetti said. So, I mean, I like it. I like it. But again, I move with a lot of pause now. Things that used to get me excitable, now I'm like, okay. What's the meaning of this? But no, honestly though, if the intentions are good here, if the intentions are pure, I think this is good. This is what we're supposed to be doing. Like, it's, y'all have given me a major tick. I swear you have. Because again, the question I keep asking myself is, how did I miss all this? How did I miss this? So to me, this would be an example of something I'd be like, oh, this is awesome. Yeah, perfect. And then 10 years from now, I'm like broadcasting live from my flat on Skid Row because we were all forced to go live in there. I don't know, y'all. I'm sorry. These past couple of months have really ruined my outlook temporarily. But in all honesty, if this is sincere, if there's not something weird tied to this, or I don't know, then I think this is fantastic. I think human beings deserve a place to live. I don't think human beings should have to give up 70 and 80% of their income just to have a roof over their head. That's ridiculous. Housing shouldn't be so much that it eventually forces people out onto the street. That's ridiculous, you know? I do wonder, is this the answer? Or perhaps is the answer just coming down on some of the prices to where you're not paying $5,000 for 400 square feet? Do you see what I mean? Yes, it does, Millennial. Millennial said 1984 ruins all outlooks. Yes, it does. I'm still working on that supercut, by the way. It's just long. It's going to end up being like an 8 or 9 hour video. So, but I'm plugging away at it because I got to get it up because everyone's talking about it right now. Not just on our channel. A lot of people are discussing it. So I want it to be available for you guys in one straight cut for you to listen to so you can really get into it. And we're still going to do a debrief. I just have to finish this supercut first. But, isn't LA also mandating, I don't know if I can say the word over here, shots? So see, to me, that's where I think this hiccup is coming from, this tick. Like on the one hand, you're doing something really good for people, but then on the other way, you're taking away their rights and freedoms. So I don't know, but if this is a good thing, then congratulations. I think it's awesome. And I hope more cities follow suit if this is indeed a good thing. That's the little out I will leave myself. So 5 years from now, when we're all forcibly shoved into these things, you can't look at me from the corner and say, PTE, What was that you were saying 5 years ago? I'm saying, look, I left myself a little out, okay? I said, if. Pass me some peanut butter. All right. Today, this happened just a few hours ago. Bank of America is clearing up an outage in Atlanta and other big cities. So if you have Bank of America and your money was acting funny, it was for a reason. It says a massive Bank of America outage is clearing up after hours of customers reporting limited to no access to their bank accounts or banking services. Whoo-wee, I know they were pissed off. The outage, happening since at least Friday morning, was affecting Atlanta, surrounding cities, and several other cities across the country, according to reports. We reached out to the corporate office for a statement, and Matthew Daly with Bank of America responded saying, "We're aware some clients are experiencing slowness as they try to access account information. We are working to improve the situation ASAP. Client information remains safe and secure." An outage map on downdetector.com shows where the reported problems are occurring. As of 11 a.m., Bank of America is trending on Twitter as customers comment in frustration and on the lack of communication from the company. Okay. So apparently, Bank of America went down. This is a message that people were getting right here. Did any of you guys experience that? Oh, one of you did. It says that outage had me a mess this morning and on the first. Man. It says Bank of America app not working on the first of the month when people have to pay bills. Come on, dog. Oh man. So I hope that got back up and running for you guys. Um, might be wise to keep maybe $100 minimum on you at all times. And if you got it like that, just keep like $1,000 cash in the house. If you got it like that. If you don't, keep at least $100 cash in the house. Okay. But other than that, let us move on to the next story. Okay. It did resolve. Okay. Good. Good, good, good. So in our COVID update, New York City's COVID shot mandate for school staff has been blocked by a judge. A judge granted temporary injunction and referred the case to a 3-judge panel while mandate was set to go into effect on Monday. It says New York City schools have been temporarily blocked. When was this published? Oh, this was published Saturday, September 25th. It says New York city schools have been temporarily blocked from enforcing a shot mandate for teachers and other workers by a federal appeals judge days before it was set to take effect. The worker mandate for the largest U.S. school system was set to go into effect on Monday. Late on Friday, a judge for the Second U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals granted a temporary injunction and referred the case to a 3-judge panel on an expedited basis. It says a Department of Education spokeswoman, Danielle Filson, said officials were seeking a speedy resolution next week, but it's my understanding, y'all, that Judge Sotomayor blocked it. She shot it down. Hold on one second. Today, actually. Let me verify that really quickly. Hold on one second. Welcome, everyone. Happy Friday. It's good to see you. Sotomayor blocks. Let me see. She didn't block it. She rejected it is what she did. Here, let me pull this over. A lot of good that did. Well, I thought we had help up in here. We don't. Let's see here. Paste and go. Slide this over here. I cannot believe this is life right now. This is crazy to me. Oh, it got reversed? So she rejected it, but then it got reversed after that? Keep me updated now. It says Justice Sotomayor rejects request to block New York City school shot mandate. All right. So it says Justice Sonia Sotomayor on Friday denied a request from a group of New York City teachers to block the city's shot mandate for public school employees. So what are you guys trying to tell me? that it got reversed. So it's not happening anymore. Boy, this stuff moves fast. Hold on one second. Let's see. New York City. Everything I'm getting is saying that it's moving ahead, you guys. It says Supreme Court allows New York school shot mandate to move ahead. So if y'all are getting something different, let me know. Okay? But this is insane. So says she denied a request from a group of New York City teachers to block the city's shot mandate for public school employees. Sotomayor did not refer the request to the other Supreme Court justices or comment on her action, likely signaling they agreed with her decision. In August, Justice Amy Coney Barrett likewise rejected an effort to block Indiana University's shot mandate. In court papers, lawyers for the teachers argued that New York City, as well as the Department of Education and the Department of Health and Mental Hygiene, have placed an unconstitutional burden on public school teachers. They wanted the high court to block the mandate while the appeals process played out. They absolutely have placed an unconstitutional burden on public school teachers. In August, New York City officials issued an order requiring Department of Education staff who work in person in a school setting or building to submit proof of at least one dose of the shot. Wow. It says the lawyers argued that instead of allowing teachers the opportunity to opt out of the shot mandate through weekly testing, the city's mandate, quote, forces people without the shot to go on unpaid leave for nearly a year. Let's see. The challengers in the case gave different reasons for not wanting to get the shot, including a concern over the long-term effects of it. They said the mandate threatens the education of thousands of children in the largest public school system in the country and violates the substantive due process and equal protection rights afforded to all public school employees. It absolutely does. A federal district court had declined to block the mandate, holding that it, quote, represents a rational policy decision surrounding how to best protect children during a global pandemic, end quote. The court said although there are other means of preventing the spread, it is not shocking for the city to conclude that getting a shot is the best way to do so, particularly at a time when viral transmission rates are high. A federal appeals court initially put the mandate on hold, but later lifted the order. Yep, so we're not going to talk about keeping the schools clean, hiring janitorial staffs to work kind of double time, changing air filters and things like that, teaching the kids about health and keeping their bodies healthy and things of that nature. Nope, we're just going to shoot our way out. This is crazy. This is so sad to me. I cannot believe this is happening to our country right now. I'm like, when do we get the next major news story? Because I really honestly feel like that's when this is going to go away, you guys. It has to be a big news story, like a major scandal, some major celebrity drops dead, like a major one, like one that they'll talk about for weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks. It's almost election cycle. It's almost election season, actually, for, I think, what is it? State midterm elections, I think, are coming up. So basically what I'm trying to say is this will all go away when the news cycle changes. I'm serious, y'all. Like, I'm so for real. They just haven't really had anything else for the past couple of years. But I'm like, what? Something else needs to come along and change the news cycle so this will go away. I'm telling you. It's only because it's at the top of their minds. Because my whole thing is this. Here's my question. How long are they going to fight this battle? Because they've got to know that no is no. You've got to know that no means no. So at what point are you just going to say, okay, well, fine. Well, this is just this is just how many people chose to do it, and we'll just move on from life from here. Like I guess what I'm saying is, are you going to keep this up a year from now, 2 years from now? Are you still going to be talking about, did you get your COVID shot in 2022, 2023, 2024? Are you still going to be looking back here to see if we did it? Because the answer is still going to be no. So when are y'all going to let this go? When? Like, you're not going to change anyone's mind. And mandating it, getting aggressive, bullying people, all you're doing is making people's minds more made up and more solid and more resolute. You're not winning your case. And you're not doing a very good job arguing your case either. You're not doing either one of those things. So for those people out there who were considering it but still hadn't done so, you've absolutely blown it for yourselves in regard to them ever being convinced to go do it, because you are not arguing your case. It's almost like if I'm looking for a new car, and I go on the lot, and at first the salesman is real nice to me and he's friendly and he's showing me the bells and whistles. And then when I'm like, well, I don't know, I think I want to do a little bit more research and shop around a little bit more, then, I do kind of like this, but I'm not sure. And when you tell him you're not ready yet, he turns ugly. He starts cussing you out. He calls you names, tells you you're stupid. How could you not buy this car? You're an idiot. How could you go to another lot? Do your own research. Did you guys know they're actually telling people not to do their own research? I'm so serious, but I'll talk about it on my other channel. But your mockery, your belittling, your unwillingness to even listen to the concerns, what you don't know is amazing. The things that you don't know because you haven't been reading the articles, you haven't been listening to the conferences, you haven't been doing any of that. You just went, sat down, and rolled your sleeve up. So you don't know anything that's going on out here. You're completely uneducated, but you'll get educated. You will. But y'all are going to have to let this go at some point. Let it go. Let it go. You can't operate on half capacity. You can't operate with only people who've taken the shot. That's so stupid. And you're showing your true colors when y'all were just crying a few weeks ago about how nobody wanted to come for work. I did a whole live stream on that. Said, what was the title of that live stream? Let me see. It was the title of that live stream. Oh crap, I'm in the wrong account. I think it was something like, nobody wants to work. No, nobody wants to work for you. Nobody wants to put up with your foolishness anymore, basically. So they were crying all summer long about how they can't get people to come back to work and how they were going to take away people's benefits, unemployment benefits, to try to force them back into the workforce because they were so desperate for employees, so desperate that now they're letting them go if they don't take the shot. You people are hypocrites, you're narcissists, you're psychopaths, and you're sociopaths, and you're very, very, very confused people. You're confused also because the people, the same ones trying to force these shot mandates, are also the same ones who fight for a woman's right to have an abortion and believe in a woman's bodily autonomy and believe that her body, she has the right to make decisions over her body, will march and cry and spit and throw paint and everything over that. But when it comes to this, oh, no, that's not the same thing. Yeah, you need to go get your shot. You people something's wrong with you. Something's wrong with you, okay? And the bug has bitten Newsom as well, because now Newsom has announced a statewide shot mandate for the students. Now, here's something I think is very interesting. In New York, the governor is the governor, and correct me if I'm wrong, y'all know I get this a little confused, but the governor is the one who was installed after they threw out Cuomo, correct? I think her name is her name Holcomb? Let me see. Right? So she was installed. And remember, I felt weird about that. Do y'all remember I felt like, okay, well, I guess congratulations to the first female governor of New York. Who is the governor? Hochul is her name. Kathy Hochul, Democrat, installed first female governor of New York. And I remember when I reported on that, I was just like, eh, I mean, congratulations, I guess, but I would have rather you have been voted in and not have it given to you. No, okay, I'll clear that up in a second, Millennial. Then you have Newsom, who just went through a whole big public recall election and quote unquote won, right? And shortly after both of them got into office, they came out with these mandates. So something strange is going on, you guys. Now, Millennial, I'm glad you said that because I remember the day I saw that in the chat. When I said, "Ooh, he's cute. I need to get out on the front lines," I was talking about one of the people that was holding a sign, one of the marchers. I wasn't talking about Gavin Newsom, that Ken doll. I was talking about one of the guys that was in a picture on the screen. You probably weren't looking at your screen. He had on a t-shirt and a hat. Okay, Rebound, you caught that. I'm glad somebody caught it. I wasn't saying Gavin Newsom was cute. I was saying a guy that was further down on the page was cute. He was quite buff. And I was saying, wow, if this is how y'all are doing it out here, I need to get out here and protest something. I didn't know it was going down like that. That's who I was talking about, not Gavin. Lord have mercy. The confusion that goes down in this chat. Mercy. Mercy, mercy. But hopefully that clarifies, okay? I wasn't talking about Gavin that day. But speaking about Newsom, but anyway, do y'all see my point though? Like two governors, both of them, one was installed, the other almost got kicked out, but then got yanked back in and immediately institutes these mandates. Okay? So thank you for keeping things clarified for me, Rebound. I appreciate it. Says California Governor Newsom announces the nation's first statewide shot mandate for the students. God, I'm so glad I don't have kids right now. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord. 'Cause all my children will be homeschooled. California Governor Gavin Newsom on Friday announced a first in the nation mandate that will require all eligible students to get the shot against CV-19 to go to school in person once haircuts get full federal approval. So, see, this is what I mean by I feel weird. On the one hand, you're building housing for the homeless, which is really noble and great. But then on the other hand, you're getting ready to mandate shots for all these students. So I don't know if I can trust you. I guess that's what it is. I don't know if I trust you anymore or anything that you do. The mandate could take effect early next year and will be phased in by grade span. We want to end this pandemic. We are all exhausted by it, Newsom said during a briefing at a San Francisco County middle school. Currently, the FDA has approved a shot for people 16 and older, but has so far only given emergency authorization. Wow. Wow. I really can't read. Really can't do it. How are y'all doing over here in the chat? It's just something I can't do. But so far has only given emergency authorization for children ages 12 to 15. Students will be required to get vaccinated during the school term directly after the FDA gives full approval for a specific age group, ages 12 and older in grades 7 through 12 and ages 5 through 11 in K through 6. Newsom said that could happen either January 1st or July 1st, whichever comes first. But based on current projections, California officials said they anticipate the requirement would likely begin for the older students in July. California's requirement would apply to children at both public and private schools. Once it takes effect, students without the shot can remain enrolled in independent study, but won't be able to attend in-person classes. Wow. There's still a struggle to get where we need to go, and that means we need to do more and we need to do better. So do you notice how it just keeps changing? Week after week, it goes from this is the problem group, then this is the problem group, then this is the problem group. And now it's, oh, the kids are the problem group. And once we take care of the kids, then this will be solved. Like, I just don't see. And people's argument is, but you already have to have shots to go to school. And I've already I've argued that point to death on my other channel a little bit, but it's still always a choice, you guys. Someone can choose not to take those. And a lot of people do choose not to take those, like the Amish. They're not taking your shots just to attend your low-level public school. They'll teach their kids at home. Thanks. Okay? So I'm here to tell you that even after they start shooting up the kids, it's not going to go away, you guys. They love this too much. They're enjoying it too much. And you know what I was thinking about in regard to the whole school thing? Because you all know most of you know, I used to be a school teacher. And I was thinking, how would I feel about this if I was still teaching? Would I want all the kids had to have taken a shot? Would I want all my coworkers to have taken a shot? And my answer that I came up with was this. I would never have even dreamed that that would be something that could be forced. So no, what I'm going to do is take my shot as a teacher. If that's what I was going to do, I would take mine to protect myself. And the only thing I would enforce in my classroom, like if they had masks school-wide, then I have to follow the school rules. And I'm going somewhere with this. But the only thing I would truly enforce in my classroom is the same thing I used to enforce when I was a teacher, which is sanitation and hygiene. You're not going to be coughing all in the open air. You're not going to be sneezing all in the open air. Cover your mouth, cover your sneeze. And if you sneeze into your hands, go wash them. And there were times when I actually would have a little bathroom in my classroom. That was amazing. So if I did, I'd say, go to the restroom, wash your hands, please. And they would. And then once they leave, I would wipe down my desks and I would do my best to keep my classroom clean and as sanitized as I possibly could. And that's how I would do it. I would never say, yeah, every single one of my students needs to be, I was going to say haircut, needs to have had a shot or they can't come sit in my presence. Get out of here. Who do you think you are? You never cared before. You never cared when they came to school with colds. You never cared when they came to school with the flu. You never cared when they came to school with pink eye, conjunctivitis. You never cared. You never cared when they came to school with pneumonias and monos and bacterial infections. You guys never cared before. You never cared what we were exposed to. Never. So forgive me if I'm not impressed by your sudden concern. And forgive me if I'm having trouble believing your sudden concern because you literally never cared before. You never cared. And some of us are old school germaphobes who've been talking about this for years, and y'all laughed at us. You made fun of us. You picked on us. You mocked us. You had every excuse in the book for why you couldn't at least sanitize your hands. You know what I mean? Like you moved with real nastiness. You spread your germs all over the place. And I really think a lot of them came to school just to spread their cold all over the place. I really do. Like I honestly believe in my heart, they just wanted to see how many casualties they could get in like a week. Could they take the whole school down with their cold or just their classrooms? No, you guys never cared about us before. Never. And now all of a sudden you do, to the point where you're firing people. Like, forgive us if we don't believe you. You're not sincere. You've never been sincere about this. Never. Okay? So I feel sorry for you, California. I feel sorry for you, the teachers, the students, everybody involved. Okay? I really, really, really do. Like they really had our names on a vial. Everybody's name they have on a vial. And they are pissed off that all those vials are not gone yet. Okay? Sorry if this is shocking to any of you, but I'm very, very much against these mandates. It's not right. It's not right. And it's not long before you guys will be asking us to do things like take the HPV shot. Take it, because we said so. And any other shot that they can come up with, take it because we said so. We're not far from that. And y'all are not going to make my hair fall out for your various agendas that change week by week and day by day. You're just not. Okay? So good luck with the fight. And I mean that with all sincerity. And I know that burns you narcissists down to your core. Because I know you're sitting that back behind your computer screen going, oh, I'm going to make take that shot. Because that's how y'all are. That's how you are with everything. Oh, I'm going to make you. Oh, you're going to submit to me. That's how you guys are. And the thing about it is you're forceful with everything. I knew I had another thought regarding the school. It makes more sense now why I did not thrive as a public school teacher, because the public school environment has very much always been this way, just in a different way. You understand? So the force has always been present. Um, the flexing of the muscle has always been present. I didn't run my classroom like that. I ran my classroom in such a way where I wanted the students to make choices for themselves. If you choose not to do your work right now, guess what? You also chose an F for this assignment. And that doesn't upset me. I laid out the rules, I laid them out clearly. I told you what I needed from you, what was expected from you. I made myself available to help you. If you chose not to do it, you chose your F. I don't believe in force. I believe in choice. You do your work, you choose an A. You don't do your work, you choose an F. You understand? But I clashed with other teachers who really truly got off on just controlling these kids for no real reason, because it was fun for them. Like, it was fun to have this tiny little kingdom for them to run, and their word was bond, and what they say goes. And don't get me wrong, we had respect in our classroom. Like, if they mouthed off at me, called me a name, called me the B word, I kicked them out. I put them out. And typically, because see, to me, you just chose to get yourself kicked out of the classroom. You cussed me out. You just chose to get yourself put out the classroom. Life is easy. But what would happen? They'd go to the office on a referral. The office would send them right back. So do you see how we clashed in our management styles? So I see why I didn't do well in the school system. They've always been like this. This is just the worst display of their behavior. That's all. Okay. Now, let's move on. Let's move on. So this is kind of exciting. And I think this is actually, is this going to close us out? Yeah, this is going to close us out. Okay. So last night, you guys, and those of you who are on my other channel already know this, but I wanted to bring it to you here because it actually made mainstream news. So it got even all the way to the UK, it got published. Okay. But last night, there was an unusual sight in the sky followed by a sonic boom, right? And they are saying that what we saw and heard was SpaceX making its return, right? So let's watch this very brief video clip from News4Jax, okay?
Did you feel it last night? A sudden sonic boom when the SpaceX Dragon re-entered Earth. We were flooded with emails and social media messages from News4Jax viewers, many sending photos and videos. Meteorologist Danielle Giuliano has those images.
The bright streaming object we saw in the sky Thursday night was the CRS-23 mission from the International Space Station, and it was coming home to NASA. Their Cargo Dragon 2 spacecraft from SpaceX was the 23rd cargo resupply mission to the space station, and it confirmed splashdown late Thursday evening. That's when we heard the loud sonic boom, a thunder-like noise a person on the ground hears when an aircraft or other aerospace vehicle flies overhead faster than the speed of sound. News4Jax insiders uploaded lots of photos and videos to Snapjacks, asking, "What is this?" Tracy Smith sent in this photo that shows the spacecraft over her neighborhood and said it was the oddest thing. Haley Stone sent in this video from Callahan. The caption said, "This was the video from the loud boom everyone experienced." And when we posted on Twitter asking if you heard the boom, we got responses like, "I thought an explosion happened, it was so freaking loud." And, "OMG, I heard this and wondered what it was." From bottom to top, Falcon 9 generates 3 sonic booms during its descent. First, the Merlin main engines, then the black landing legs, and finally the titanium grind fines used to steer the rocket. The next big date coming up is a manned SpaceX launch scheduled for Saturday, October 30th at 2:43 a.m. 4 astronauts will be on board as part of the crew. Live in studio, Danielle Giuliano, Channel 4, the local station.
Okay, so let me tell you why I'm having a little bit of a tough time. Okay. Buying their explanation. Oh, excuse me. Couple reasons, okay? Sorry, got a little bit of something in my throat. All right. So first, let's look at this picture right here, okay? You see this long trail here. Oh, excuse me. Okay. You see the long trail on this thing? That's important. You see the angle of this thing. This is important too. And I'm going to tell you why in a second here, okay? I don't know if this is an actual video or not. It's not playing though. Okay, but that's all right. We got more pictures. You see this right here, okay? Take a look at that picture. Really look at it. Okay. So you see this. You see its angle. Now let me tell you what I saw. You see this, okay? Wow, my voice is really going out of me right now. Hold on a second. Methinks someone doesn't want me to discuss this, okay? I never start choking like this on air. Man, let me tell you what I saw, okay? Before they turn my voice completely off. I was standing outside. That's right. Let me see what direction I was facing. Let me pull up the compass on my phone. Okay. So I was facing the northwest, okay? Facing the northwest. It was, I don't remember what time it was, but it was dark. And it was a little bit cloudy, which actually adds to all of this, okay? Now, what I saw, you guys, they're saying that this thing was coming back in from outer space, right? But what I saw was this right here, because if you look at this picture, the head of it is at the top. The head of this thing is not at the bottom. It's at the top. This is what I saw. So I saw something take off, basically. And at first I thought, oh, somebody might be shooting fireworks. You know what I mean? Because people shoot fireworks randomly all around here all the time. I was like, oh, I guess somebody's shooting fireworks, but it never exploded, right? So I just kept watching the area. And then next thing I know, what I basically saw was this picture right here. Where did it go? I see this thing start to streak across the sky. So it lifts off, and you can even really see that here. You can see where it kind of took off from over here on the lower left. And this is its trajectory, not the other way around, okay? I see this thing lift off. It disappears for a second. Then it reappears and literally takes off, right? And I thought, oh, it's a shooting star. But no, because every time it would lose speed, it's like something kicked it and like pushed it so it could go another couple hundred, I don't know if that's miles. It had to be miles, I guess, because we're so high up, or they're so high up. And it literally jetted itself across the sky of its own propulsion. And this trail was illuminated, you guys. I forgot to tell y'all that on my other channel. The trail that it left behind was illuminated in the dark night sky. So the trail itself was glowing. And again, just like I told everyone on my channel earlier, on the other channel earlier, I wasn't going to tell anyone because I was like, no one's going to believe you anyway. It's just some random weird thing that you saw. The end. Let it go. But turns out I wasn't the only one who saw it, and lots of different people have reported on it. And then apparently, when it finally landed, it caused a sonic boom. Yes, the trail was lit up. That's also what drew my attention to it. It left an illuminated trail behind it long after it was gone, and it was moving so fast. But the most perplexing thing was how every time it would slow down, it's like something fired off to push it forward. It was self-propelled, whatever it was. Then when it finally landed, it caused a sonic boom. And it shook people's houses and woke people up and all kinds of stuff. But here's some more pictures from it. These pictures don't do it much justice because you can't see the trail on it. But what you can see is the upward trajectory. You see how it's going up? So how does something re-enter the earth if it's going up? So it re-entered from the bottom? Maybe this is just my space ignorance. I don't know. Okay. But it definitely happened. I definitely saw it. Let's see if this is a good video. And it was pretty cool. And if it's SpaceX, I guess that's comforting. Oh, this is 47 minutes. Never mind, honey. If it's SpaceX for real, cool, I guess. So here's a good shot of the trail right here. But Elon, y'all need to tell people that kind of stuff. See, to me, that's kind of what makes it a little suspicious. It seems to me that announcements should be made. Hey, everybody, sometime between 9 and 11 p.m. this evening, the module will be re-entering Earth. You might see something with a lit up trail on it. That's the SpaceX module. Don't freak out. And here's my other thing. What about actual air traffic, like airplanes and stuff? Don't they have to steer clear of things like this? Like, I don't see how you can just decide that from this particular time frame, everything better get out of your way, basically, because you're coming back to Earth whether you like it or not. Okay? But yeah, guys, very, very interesting stuff. Very weird things happening. Keep your eyes on the skies, okay? Uh-oh. And don't doubt your eyes. Don't doubt what you see. Take note and take note, and then hope somebody else saw it too so they can verify your account. But I saw this with my own eyes, and I tracked it the whole time until I couldn't see it anymore. So I don't know. But Elon, stop littering the sky, please. All right? And with that, you guys, I'm going to go ahead and wrap up the news break for this particular Friday. It was really, really good catching up with you all. For this weekend, I'm not sure when I'll be back on here. Maybe Sunday, but then again, maybe not. But then again, maybe Monday, because I'm free now. So I do need to give y'all the update on that. So I'll probably do something this weekend just to keep us updated. And then I think I'm going to take like a week off. And then we're going to start hitting this thing hard. Okay. But I need to detox from this toxic environment that I've been in and just reset some things. So thank you to all who encouraged me through my situation. I hope those of you who are in similar situations are making it. I know a lot of you are under threat right now of job loss over the shot. I pray for you. I pray for change very, very soon. I pray that these people see the light very, very soon and see the error of their ways and the mistake that they're making. You cannot threaten people's very livelihood over a medical decision. You just can't do that, guys. Okay. So those of you who are in that particular struggle, I'm thinking about you, and I believe things will turn around very, very soon. Okay. But with that, take care, and we will follow up with each other again next week. Okay. Bye.